Welcome back to Richmond. Grant and Danny live on 106.7 The Fan, being joined by new Redskins offensive tackle Ereck Flowers, who is suddenly man right in the middle of the major storyline in camp because he, as of today, is the starting left tackle of this Redskins team. He just took all the first-team reps today on the offensive line. He was the 9th pick in the draft with the Giants. You spent time in New York. Then at the end of last season, you were in Jacksonville, and here you are with your third team since the start of last year, trying to find a home. What has it been like for you now over these last several months? Looking for a spot, you choose the Redskins, why, and now all of a sudden with Trent holding out, you're the guy at left tackle.
Yeah, I had a great time in Jacksonville, came into free agency and had a great meeting with the Redskins, and I thought it would be a great situation, you know what I mean? And initially I was supposed to play guard, but Trent's situation came up, so I'm kind of switching in between both.
When they first met with you, my understanding from people I've talked to is basically they told you you're guard for us.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe for you, you're thinking, okay, this is a way to jumpstart the rest of my career. I could be a really good guard for a long time. Is that right?
Yeah. And I thought they had a great line. If you look along.
Like, well, Trent's at left tackle.
Yeah, so I thought that, so that's what led me to just come here.
Where is your confidence at playing left tackle? Because obviously there have been plenty of ups and plenty of downs for you. You were moving inside the guard for a reason, and now they've asked you to go back outside.
Yes. I mean, I've been playing tackle my whole life. I came here because they had a great line. I had a chance to play next to some great guys. I could have went back to Jacksonville and played tackle if that was the case, but I thought I looked at this situation. I thought it would be a great situation. I looked at all the dudes they had and their coach. Heard a lot of great things about Coach Callahan and his development in players, and I thought it would be a good step in my career.
That's what I wanted to get to, is how much did Bill Callahan play into that? Because he's got a pretty good reputation, right?
Yeah. I got a chance to play with Jeremy Parnell. Never played offensive line. Callahan got him to be, where he was at. He had a great career, great player, great dude, and he just had nothing but great things to say about Callahan. And I think that coming here, talking to him, watching some film of him on my meeting, and I just thought this would be a great place for me.
I've known you for 2 minutes, right? We've been talking while we're about to come back. You're 25 years old. You're drafted in the top 10 out of Miami, and you still train there. But you're super mild-mannered, just kind of a pleasant, easygoing guy. You're talking to some fan who thought you were someone else, and, I would have been upset by that, and you weren't for some reason. You're just a nice guy. The New York media was not very good to you or for you. What was that like the last few years? And how do you go about just day in and day out showing up to work when you're getting crushed left and right?
I think my college coach always had this saying of ignore the noise. And I think that's pretty much the motto I kind of took. And I'm not going to say I was perfect. I know I had a lot of mistakes. I didn't, certainly play the best that I could play, but I think I grew as a person, as a player up there, and I'm grateful for that, and it is what it is.
Are you better than what you put on film with the Giants?
100%.
Why do you think it didn't go better? Why didn't you show what you're capable of? You didn't go 10th overall because you can't play.
I think coming into the league is all about being in the right situation, the right place, the right time, you know what I mean? And I think that happens for a lot of players. For the first time in your life, you're not choosing where you go. You're being chosen. So it's it's okay. I had a great time in New York despite all the stuff I would have preferred, but it's okay.
But I bet it'd be fun to play against him.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Ereck Flowers with us here. Grant Danny, new Redskins offensive lineman. Maybe a tackle here for a while. Guard. It's something. How different is that? We're idiots. We watch football like everybody else. We obviously can't play at the level you guys have, but we just think, it's offensive line, but it's completely different, right? Moving just a few feet to the right, starting from left tackle going to left guard. How different is that, and is that made tougher now because you got to keep taking tackle reps?
Yeah, I think that, in football and offensive line is all muscle memory and trying to build that muscle memory and doing the right things day in, day out so that you're used to doing things a certain way of how they're supposed to be done and just naturally doing it, not even thinking, you know what I mean? So moving from right side, kicking right and kicking left, you know what I mean? That kind of disrupts that memory.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whatever you stay at one position, you're going to get better at it. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
But it's the nature of the business. You know what I mean? People get hurt. People go out. Some people plan on playing center, end up playing guard the whole season. You just got to be able to – that's another thing. You got to be able to be versatile. Mm-hmm. And I think that has been creating versatility for me. You know what I mean?
If Trent comes back, let's say tomorrow or the end of camp, whatever it is, he takes over left tackle immediately. Like they're like, hey, thanks a lot.
Thank you
It was
so
fun.
much, Eric.
Eric, you did a good job, buddy. Now go over somewhere else. That said, I think this hurts you a little bit at left guard, right? Because West gets all these reps. Have you thought about that, or makes sense of that point?
I think I'm at a point where I think right now I just want to win.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think I want to be a part of it. I just want to be part of something special right now as far as winning, going to the playoffs. You know what I mean? And going the distance. I think that's more of my mindset. So I'm more so of a like, okay, whatever they need me to do, I'm going to do. You know what I mean? I'm not in particular about, oh, this and that. You know what I mean? I'm more so just whatever to help the team win.
And the cool thing is you don't have to block for Blake Bortles anymore. That's really exciting.
Nah, Blake, my boy.
I'm
That's my boy. That's my boy right there. That's my boy.
He
That's
must be a very nice guy.
Hey, listen, that's a great dude right there, man.
Is he really?
You if you go in that locker room, you tell dudes that, man. I don't know if you'll walk out.
They like Blake that much?
Everybody loves Blake, man. Blake's
Really?
a great dude, man.
That's
And
awesome.
What do you like to do best on a football field? Is it just straight ahead run blocking? Is it swallowing up a pass rusher? What's your favorite? Get out in space on a screen. What's your favorite thing to do?
I love run blocking. I like getting out on screens.
Yeah.
I would say.
Hunting defensive backs?
Yeah, I think that's pretty fun.
Cool, guys. All right, before we wrap this up, we could keep talking football, but actually we have a guy with us who's 6'6" and 335.
That's right.
When all the linemen, and like Morgan Moses, who's the biggest man I've ever seen, are standing there, like you kind of look bigger than everyone else. This is a weird question. We love food so much. I want to know, like, if you ate a lot at dinner, you're like, oh, damn, that got away from me.
I'm actually hungry today.
Yeah, you're like, tonight I need to eat a lot. Like, what's the biggest, grossest, most amazing meal you might have? Or, like, over the course of a day?
At home or going out?
I want your Hall of Fame, like, let's go.
Like
let's
you
get
order
it.
the platter for 4.
I'm
That's yours.
6'6",
I go out to
335.
dinner.
Yeah.
Uh,
What's the most embarrassing thing you've ever done food-wise?
Man, embarrassing? I'm never really embarrassed. But I say I had that tomahawk at what's that steakhouse?
What town?
It's in Jacksonville. It's in Jackson. It's everywhere.
Ruth's
It's
Chris.
everywhere. It's not. Is it It's not Fleming's. It's like a steakhouse.
Okay.
I buy it, yeah.
How big is
It's
the
Mount
tomahawk?
Morton's. Is what's the other one besides Morton's?
Ruth's Chris, Morton.
Ruth's Chris and Morton's are the 2 I could come up with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's another steakhouse.
But I
Alright.
like a steak joint, yeah.
So how big is the tomahawk?
Just like this.
The old
I wish I
96er.
had my phone. I took a picture of it one time. Now,
So you'll eat it by yourself.
yeah.
Do you know, like, what's your normal diet calories a day when you're training?
I mean, in training camp, I pretty much try to eat cleaner
Okay.
because the days are a little bit more demanding. So, I mean, I don't really eat crazy because you're gonna go out there feeling bad.
Yeah.
So I'll eat like egg whites, avocado.
When O-linemen get together, did you guys ever play, like, credit card roulette for the bill? Or
Oh yeah, 100%.
what do those bills end up being, like, when everyone's eating at a steakhouse?
In Jacksonville, we actually went to Linder's house. Brandon Linder, I played college with him. The whole line, running backs, quarterbacks will go to Linder's house and just hang out. Then we'll order a food truck. And then
An actual truck.
He said
How
we'll
much
order a
delivery?
food
We ordered
truck.
Yeah,
the truck
the
of food.
I thought he
Right.
said food.
the
I'm like,
whole
oh,
truck would just pull up in his house.
That's
and
amazing.
we'll just write everybody's number and just throw it in there.
Oh, that's
Then
perfect.
the last 2 guys got to split it. But it's never nothing crazy.
What is
we'll
your,
order a food truck.
Yeah, I'd like,
I'm quoting that right
That's
now.
some delivery of food, a truck of food. What's your eating contest food? I think everybody has like a food like that they can eat more of than everybody else. Mine's cocktail shrimp, for example.
Yeah.
I feel like I could never stop
Mine's
eating cocktail
Oreos.
shrimp.
I could eat a lot of Oreos.
What's your eating contest food?
Oh, man. Eating contest. I can eat anything. I don't really have anything specific where I'm just like, I get a lot of ice cream probably, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good for you. We don't want to keep you. What are you doing now? What's the schedule?
Probably just go in there, get some treatment.
Probably
get
late for a
stretched out.
meeting. You're like, oh, shoot.
Yeah.
I was
No,
talking to
I was
these
talking
guys.
to these 2 guys, which
Yeah.
is really important.
They're talking about food a bunch. They asked me to come over to talk about football. So you have meetings and then walk through today?
Yeah.
Okay,
And
cool.
then-
Well, enjoy Richmond.
Cool. Thank
There are
you.
delicious restaurants you won't be able to take part in. But
Places you can get egg whites, I'm sure.
yeah, exactly. And what do you think? When will we see Trent? What do you say?
Shoot. Whenever he comes, I mean, that's another. I don't like to get into.
Do you text him and say, like, Trent, we're good here. It's fine if you just want to keep doing your thing wherever you are.
Take your time, buddy.
Yeah, man. I couldn't tell you.
You're kind of enjoying that left tackle thing. Eric, thank you very much for the
All right,
time.
man.
Eric, appreciate you, buddy. Nice to
Appreciate
meet you,
it.
man.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Eric
Yeah.
Flowers, boys and girls. He is not only with the Redskins here at camp, but he is the starting left tackle right now, while Trent Williams is wherever Trent Williams is. Great to have him on the show.
Super nice guy.
What a dude.
Friendly dude.
That was fun.
I loved your question, honestly, about, hey, here's the elephant in the room. The New York media wasn't real nice. They weren't real friendly.
Well, and I'm not even saying that they were unfair. I'm sure some of them were, but I mean, when I went over to him, like just the little interaction I had, you can tell within, like right now he's giving out his gloves to a kid that plays high school football, right? We're just watching him do that. Within a minute, I was like, wow, this is like a really nice guy. And the word that comes off is like almost like soft-spoken, but maybe just too friendly.
Just
to
very
be completely
amiable,
honest.
honestly,
Like, can this guy get up to the anger that he needs on a football field? And then I thought about, oh, my God, this is the guy I've seen eviscerated in the national media for 4 years about being a bust.
Yeah. The
How
columns
do
were
you
basically
deal
like,
with that?
he stole from everyone,
Right.
the New York columns.
How dare you get that contract at 9th overall for being great at Miami? But the fact is, like you and I have said it on this show, if the Redskins start the season him at left tackle, that's a concern because of how he's played to this point. He just said, though, they came to him, he went to them, and they all decided together at guard.
You were a guard, sir.
Maybe he could be a really good guard.
And here's the comp. I didn't want to bring it up to him because it's it's different sports, but I think this happens all the time in baseball. Right? Remember, for years, the St. Louis Cardinals did this. Dave Duncan, Tony La Russa's pitching coach, would find the guy that had the talent but hadn't figured it out yet. And he would bring him to St. Louis. The next thing you know, the guy wins 20 games with the 2-5. The Chris Carpenters of the world, right? The Reclamation Project. And Callahan's got enough of a rep. He's got enough credibility in this game where he's done that for guys that had never played the line before, that had been good, that were trying to get good again. Any of the million scenarios, I would, if I'm in this game, if I'm Ereck Flowers, who it hasn't worked out in a couple spots, I find Bill Callahan's of the world to say, get me on that track. Find me the one or two things. Give me a key or two that can turn my career around. And that's one of the reasons it's here, I think.
Help me figure this out.
Yeah.
It's been a great hour. We've talked to Daron Payne, representing the D-line. We got Jordan Reed talking about the tight end group. And now Ereck Flowers of the offensive line room. So we're checking some boxes here on day one of training camp in Richmond. The last player on the field coming off, by the way, today, if you're curious, is Josh Norman.
He can't go 10 feet without people getting in his way.
If you had Cam Sims as the first player onto the field, Josh Norman is the last player off the field, you win the office pool. We're Grant and Danny hanging out in Richmond, day one of Redskins camp on The Fan.